Hello there, wanna see something cool? Look here. This is Molten Giant with a lot of health, but my build doesn't care. We can do almost 100,000 damage in a second. One-shot bosses and basically have a lot of fun. Funniest part that you can get this build almost from the beginning. And it's so broken it just feels like cheating. Today I will show you how I made this setup from scratch. But before I want to take a few seconds to thank you all guys. I guess when I upload this video, our kingdom will grow to 30k. And we are approaching 300 uploads. And I will still try to make every video as best as possible. But today we're starting as Confessor because it's best class when we're going for dexterity phase build. Our gorgeous character is ready and we are ready to open the doors into the limb grave of course. And in today's video I consider you know how to start your journey. And if you don't, check links in the description. And I started my journey by talking with Bear because he will be my essential tool to level up faster. Then I quickly started to get every essential we need. First of all, in the gate front catacombs I got this whetstone to being able to change Ashes of War on our weapons. And then I decided to try out my sneakiness against this bro and I lost my sneaky shenanigans, but still I was able to get this flail from the chest. And this flail is essential tool to get our levels faster. So first of all we're going back to Linus Right, and I decided to include this part because there were a lot of comments that telling that farming methods I showed in my video is not working. So if you can't farm this big ball, make sure you're not panicking and going to this left side, because he will survive and you won't get any runes. The correct way is to just go over here and when he will show up, turn to the cliffs. Then he will drop from the cliffs and you will get the sweet 2k runes. And this is everything I need before I go to the next location, Fort Farad in Caelid. From this fort I need to get Dectus Medallion and Radagonster Seal. And while I'm going for these items, let me explain the idea behind the build. As you all know, I'm Potato and I don't like to time my rolls, avoid attacks, learn patterns, as well as I hate doing 1 million buffs before the fight to being able to one-shot enemies. I like to make things simple and dump everything down to just one button press. And that's what you will see today, how I basically destroyed DLC as the brand new character. So the biggest problem of the flail, we need 18 dexterity to use it, but Radagonster Seal will give us 5 dexterity. So all I need to do is to get +1 dexterity from our 2k runes that we got from Ball. And now Dragon Farm. It haven't been patched, nothing changed, you just need to come close and spin your flail. Make sure you have enough attributes and you will have this blood loss effect in no time and we inflict 13k damage. Then you need to be sure you're on a horse already and only from the horse position attack. And another tip, make your horse halfway turned, like this, so basically you have enough time to rush towards the site of grace, quickly jump off, and if you did all steps above, you will have this 50k runes, easily. So, I got some levels, now I need great weapons, so I went into another site of grace in Caelid and went straight into this chest. Right in this chest there will be a great sword. And here I'm going for strength build today and I need a lot of strength to wear this sword. It's not problem because we got enough runes and basically in no time I'm level 49. Then I went into this site of grace over here because on the hill near the battlefield there's a scarab and when we destroy the scarab there will be a very interesting Ash of War, Crack Blade that gives us a lot of damage. But then I went back into the main road of Caelid, so now I want to amplify my farm because I will need a lot of levels in the DLC area. So I jumped into this cave and basically over here is really dangerous cave because there will be a river with a rot in here. And it looks like there is no way to survive in here, but actually there is a way. Instead of jumping, just carefully walk over here of the cliff and step on the mushrooms. Now just never panic, never roll and just walk onto this next mushroom pile and followed by jumping on the wall. So here you will be in boss area in no time. There's actually 2 bosses at the same time, but they are not a problem for our level 50 build. I just breaking his poise in 2 hits and then doing 1 critical strike followed by 2 charged attacks. And after destroying melee boss, basically this semi-range boss is not a problem at all. It's really easy to avoid these shurikens or whatever it is, and she was done in no time. So after defeating these bosses we will get really nice amulet. It's called golden scarab. It will give us more runes, same as gold pickled fowl food, which will help me level up in no time when I arrive into Mohg Palace. But with this combination I decided to kill Dragon one last time, because if you do it without resetting him, it will amplify runes and you will get almost 150k runes instantly. But there is one problem, I got only one talisman slot, so I quickly defeated Margit and went straight to the Godric. And Godric is not a problem, as you can see, he will be poise broken into hits as always, basically with our cracked blade greatsword build. And when he is in second phase, I just rushed straight to him, followed by 2 charged attacks. Then I went into a round table hold and went to the back room to speak with this lady. And this lady will give me talisman pouch, but also now I can get back to Liurnia and continue various quests. He is in Rose Church in Liurnia of Lakes, and after finishing his quest, I got this Pureblood Knight Medallion. By using this item from inventory, I went straight into Mohg Palace, getting upstairs to the site of grace, and since I made bad cuts in my how to farm runes video, I'm showing you full road right now. But actually it's really simple, you just drop down, get on the horse and follow the road, hugging the left part of this area. By hugging the left part, you won't be invaded a lot by white masks. And we will arrive at this site of grace, so here I will get all my levels needed to get into DLC. First of all, there's a bird down here, and by attacking her with a bow, she will go to me and rush, and she's not very smart, so she will drop off the cliff and give me these tasty 11k runes. Main mistake you can make at this farm, not standing in the exact place I'm standing right now, so just look carefully where my character is standing, and by standing at this exact place you will be able to farm over here. And with golden scarab and golden food, I'm able to do it 3 minutes straight, while getting 17k runes, which is about 4 millions per hour, but I farmed for about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more, and then I decided to go straight into the Caelid, into this castle. This is pretty optional step, but recommended level for DLC is about 100 to 150. I already almost level 100, but to get to 150 it's a lot more time by farming this bird. But by following the road to the right and getting behind the castle, there is a stairs over here, so by climbing the stairs we can get into the castle, and on the walls I'm just destroying few enemies here and there and then getting right inside the castle. So to do it I need to find a way how to drop down, and there's actually the place where we can safely drop, and in medium load we will take only half the damage, so just healing ourselves and then going straight into this fire area. It's really easy, they shooting at low rate, so I'm just going straight forward and touching site of grace. But before attempting boss there, let's get to the Saint's Bridge and find Alexander, because we are ready to assemble our build to make a really broken and insanely powerful character for Elden Ring DLC. So after destroying Alexander, I got his shard. It's better to complete his quest actually, but the difference in damage will be 5%. Then I went into this fort in Limgrave and I'm going to ruins and to miner Erdtree. In the ruins I will find Axe Talisman that will increase power of my charged attacks. And near the miner Erdtree, same crystal tier that will increase power of charged attacks. For the main build we will mostly use Ash of War, but against some enemies it's still better to use charged R2, and of course I will need it for my greatsword to get into DLC. So after getting everything I need from the Limgrave, I went into this place in Limgrave again. There's a lot of skeleton workers over here, but only one working alone. We need to kill him and he will become Rune Bear, so he is disguised Rune Bear. I destroyed him in 2 attacks and got this larvar tear. Another larvar tear can be gotten from this place in Caelid. We just need to go to the shore and find sarcophaguses over here. There will be a skeleton in a head, so this pirate bro. And he is disguised troll. It's easy to defeat him too. And why do we need these larvar tears? Basically, you can follow this build guide, even if you already started your character, and larvar tear will give you ability to respec your attribute. And then I went back to Redmane Castle to fight versus these bosses with my new talismans. As you can see, it's extremely easy and I just need few charge attacks and bosses are done. This Crucible Knight is definitely more powerful than the dog, but again, few charge attacks, he is on his knees and critical strike will destroy him. No flying today, my friend. And after destroying these bosses, we got this runic great sword, and that's extremely powerful stuff. So I decided to level him up because I don't need somber smithing stones for my main weapon for this build, and also I leveled a little bit because we need 16 arcane. And now in Mohg Palace with golden scarab and shard of Alexander, and also by eating golden fall food, I went to other side of this site of grace, and there's a bunch of fish guys. So just by unloading Ash of War ability of the sword on them, we can get around 7 million runes per hour. That's just best farm ever. There's another sword that can do it even better, and it will peak at around 9 million per hour. But even with this runic sword, it's more than enough to quickly level up your character. And for now, just keep this sword in your pocket if you're following this build guide, and spend a few minutes by leveling up here and there. But I just spent around 10 to 15 minutes and leveled my character to level 100 already. And that's basically the build I will be using to defeat Mohg. I'm maxing my strength and getting 40 vigor with the rest into endurance. And now finishing must-have items for our build. So in Lurner of Lakes there will be a jumping spot near the cliffs, and we need to get up and follow the road I showed to this site of grace and to the tower next to it. This is actually kinda half tower, and just get upstairs and find the chest, open the chest, and you will get Hole of Shabrire. That's the best damage buff in the game, but more on that later. I went to Altus Plateau and then up to Lux Ruins. From the Lux Ruins it's really easy to find a road down here, and basically following the road you will arrive into Perfumer's ruins. After entering these ruins and carefully investigating, we will find wood that blocking the entrance to the dungeon, and by going to the dungeon we will get the next really important talisman. So this is Perfumer's talisman, and yeah, we're making Perfumer build today. Then I went into Windham Catacombs. This place is nearby, but the road over here is really long. I'm showing where you need to go in Catacombs, but to figure out how to get to Catacombs, I guess you can Google it. Sorry, but I don't want to make 1-hour videos with just walking, and I hope you enjoy it. So here you will find Statue of Imp, and we need to use Stone Sword key, and then go inside and there will be a guy with Lightning Scorpion charm. Also in Liurnia there is minor Erdtree. With my build it's really easy to defeat this Erdtree in just a few hits, and after this bro is destroyed we get in a bunch of crystal tears. So these tears will be different ones, but what we interested in this lightning shrouding cracked tear. And last but not least, by getting to the top of Altus Plateau into Bridge of Iniquity site of grace, I went straight forward, and basically there will be a house in the end of the street, and there will be best buff, best over buff in the game. And all you need to do is to just go inside this shack and pick this up from the corpse. Then you will be invaded, but that's not a problem. And that's best buff for face users, of course. Commander Standard from Strength users is a little bit better. And now look, without buffs I'm making 1.6k damage, and with buffs I'm using Commander Standard right now because I'm using Strength build, and also Flame grant me Strength because I don't have enough face for Shabriri, but still with full buffs and also with Wondrous Physique right now I can do around 2.4k in a single hit. That's crazy. So, let's quickly discuss why you can die in DLC. By making quests in the main Elden Ring, you will find this guy in Liurnia, and he will sell boiled crab later to you. Also, there is a bunch of protective talismans, and protection is really important stat. So you will see it on the right side of your status bar, and you're interested in this number over here. It's 12% now, but I quickly cleared a lot of bosses and got this talisman. It's pretty late game, and this talisman will already give me 30% reduction. This means when someone hits me for 1k damage, I will take only 700. Another stuff that can boost our defense is a Pauline Heart tier, and there's a bunch of protective body buffs, but also there is armor. And for Master Shaq in Liamgrave got this trader. Always make sure to defeat him before going into DLC, because you will get one of the best armor sets in the game. I decided that I'm ready to go into the DLC and went into Academy. When first time visiting this place, there's a boss, Rellana, and basically she is down in 2 hits. Yeah, that's crazy. But after defeating her, she will be really useful for us. So, right now I'm level 150 almost, and I'm ready to fight Mohg. At least I think so. So, If I will be able to defeat Mohg right now, I will be able to go into DLC and assemble my extremely powerful build. So I decided to use Mimic tier because I already killed Rellana and got this tier, and while my little bro is tanking, I'm hiding behind these pillars and tombstones, getting from the back and then starting to use charge attacks at this Mohg. So he is really powerful, but again, charge attacks is extremely powerful too. And in no time he almost out of health, but I wasn't able to finish him and he went into blood loss situation. So I was forced to quickly drink a lot of potions and I survived, but he healed a little bit. Still, little bit is not enough to resist my attacks and he got broken poise and basically he is done. So we are ready to go into DLC, into Shadow of the Erdtree, and that's where I am right now. From the first site of grace you need to travel up and then you will meet another site of grace. Then we need to cross the bridge and reach another site of grace and then turn to the right side and take the road down. So you will see the road right now, and basically coolest part about this build, it won't use any skips. So if you're trying to get this build, you won't skip any parts of the story. Because in Shadow of the Erdtree, when you skip areas, sometimes the rune will be broken and basically you will lose a lot of quest progress with NPCs. And again, this build will not use any of this stuff, so basically feel completely free to start it from the start. And by following the road, I arrived at the jumping place, but it is sealed, so there's always a stone nearby. We need to break the stone and then seal will be unsealed so I can jump, and these two jumps basically will get me to Skado Altos and Site of Grace on this fort. The plan right now is to get out of the fort and follow the main road and then turn to the left and to get to the Site of Grace outside Rellana's castle. But firstly I decided to find out how good my build right now in Shadow of the Erdtree, and as you can see it's not so good. So I better ignore all enemies right now and just run for my life. I found a way how to get to the bottom floor of this fort and Site of Grace. Then following the main road I found myself at the Site of Grace that I was looking for. And now we're getting back to the Site of Grace after the bridge and going through the same road I just taken, but instead of going up, I turned to the right side at the bottom of this place. Right behind this big flower there's a cave actually, and by following through the cave you will get most broken weapon in Shadow of the Erdtree, believe me. Or not, you already saw it in the intro and you will see this weapon in a few seconds. And I'm really curious about your opinion on this build, so make sure to write a comment. And as you can see, the road is really simple. It's hard to get lost because we're just going forward, but it's easy to die over here because there's a lot of parkour involved and we need to be careful not to jump off the cliff on the horse. And after descending, going to the left side, we're just going forward into the forest. And right in the middle of this forest there will be a lake, and in the middle of the lake there's a body with the weapon we're looking for. Lightning perfume bottles. But now we need to get back into Site of Grace in Skado Altos and make beacon over here on the hills. You will see this beacon from the Site of Grace and we're going straight over there. But make sure to equip bow preemptively, because you will need some range spell or bow. After reaching these hills you will hear sound of scarab, but there is no scarab anywhere because he's flying. So by reaching the top of the hills you need to equip your bow or range spell and find the scarab and basically drop him down with one shot. Then finish him off with your attack and you will get insanely good Ash of War for our perfume bottle. Be careful because he will blow up himself, and we got this rolling sparks. This bottle scales with dexterity and phase. I got Lightning Scorpion Charm, Axe Talisman, Warrior Jar Shard, Perfumer's Talisman. And also biggest problem of perfume bottles, Skill Kick, which is basically useless, is fixed, because now we get our Ash of War, Rolling Sparks. Don't worry, there is no way to change affinity, so it always will be standard. And for damage build, I'm using Lightning Cricket tier. If you wish to have more defense against some strong bosses, use Opaline tier, but Spiked tier for charge attacks is very powerful. Spells that will empower my damage is Hall of Shabriri, of course. It's body buff, so won't stack with other body buffs, and also Golden Wow. And it's time to get back to Academy and get our stats and attributes into good shape by using Larvar tier and respecting our character. Level right now is 190 and that's my point, so basically 40 vigor with around 30 endurance and 55 in dexterity and phase. For level 150, just cut 15 points from dexterity and face. But I would not cut endurance, because as you can see we got full armor set, and that's because our main weapons is weighing 1 kilo each. Also never forget about really important scaling stuff in DLC, it's Erdtree fragment, and I got them just by roaming through the map, and there's a lot of them at sites of grace. Also there's a bunch of them near the cliffs and some guys, and right now I got 26 physical reduction, but just by using one Erdtree fragment, it's my first fragment, we will get already 30%, so plus 4% reduction in damage. That's really big buff. And I guess it's time to see the first boss. There's a bunch of memes about this guy, but honestly he is not that strong. So I'm buffing myself with full buff routine, and this Hall of Shabriri is actually pretty tricky stuff, because it will increase damage taken. So while it's good to destroy bosses, it's also very good to destroy yourself. And that's the playstyle. Basically we're standing from the distance and spamming Ash of War. It uses almost no FP, and basically you can spam it a lot, you don't even need a lot of magic flasks. And just by standing in the distance and waiting for an opening, we can inflict crazy amounts of damage early on. So right now he's shooting his bow, and that's an opening. Look at the damage. 4k damage, 5k damage easily in just seconds. And if you're looking carefully, you see that I already died over here previously, but that's because I tried to fight with him without moving. Yeah, you need to move, because he can 2-shot, 3-shot you, especially with Hall of Shabriri, but you actually can use some defensive talismans and not use Hall of Shabriri and still do pretty nice and crazy damage. And coolest part, he will drop second best armor in the game. So after getting this armor, I went back into Mohg Palace to level up a little bit and got level 200. This is enough to max out our damage with hard caps on this build and tackle down the Flame Giant. A lot of people can have problems with this bro, but we don't care. Look how broken this build is, you will see the insane damage right now. I was lucky while screaming and avoiding these stones. And then, after fully buffing myself, I decided to crouch over here to avoid stones. So that's the skill, boys, that's the skill. Now, after approaching this bro, I'm ready to unleash my Ashes of War at him. And look, it requires like zero skill at all. We just spam our button and he is destroyed. Look at the damage. Damage is just insane. That's crazy how fast we're inflicting 80 and 90k damage. If I can take out Molten Giant, I can take out anyone. So I went straight into Rellana. This big troll is not a problem at all. 20k damage in few seconds. So boys, get ready. We're going straight into Rellana's chamber. I decided to summon my Mimic tier, but you don't even supposed to do it. You can do it pretty nicely even without summons. But as I told you, I like to utilize and use everything I can. So if I can use summons, why not to use them? Still, she's trying to hit me first and I almost died from few hits. But now, after healing a little bit, we just starting to spam this crazy Ash of War ability, and when it hits, it just hits. 14k damage in a few seconds. Then I need to professionally await 2 attacks, but come on, I got enough defense to survive them, so I can just stand still and just spam my button. That's how you defeat Rellana. I cut down Underground Soldier, he was just too easy, so we're going straight into Messmer. And this guy is crazy. He actually took me like few attempts to deal with, but to defeat him with my strategy, I just need a nice starting attack. And I did it, so from the first attack, he is already on the second stage. That's just crazy. But second stage was a lot more harder. So snake attack is almost two-shotting me, and he got a bunch of crazy and really aggressive combinations. And I was first to decide, do I want to actually get myself some protective gear, protective talismans and other stuff, and actually remove Hall of Shabriri from my spell list? And that's completely viable strategy that I recommend to you to enjoy the game. But I decided to optimize a little bit more and get more damage. So I went and got my mushroom head. It's mushroom crown that increases damage when we are poisoned, and I'm getting poison effect from dumplings. Also, I'm using Kindred Rod Talisman, so that's the full build to amplify our damage. And all I need to do right now is to wait his attacks and catch him off guard when he's standing still just for a few seconds. That's more than enough to go into second stage, and he is just a little bit off the second stage, so I finished him with normal attack, healed myself, and now I'm ready to await the first attack of Snake. Second is still unavoidable for me, it's too hard. You know, rolling 2 times is impossible for Potato. And towards the end I thought I already done. Look at my health. And I almost was. I almost killed myself with poison, but I guess it's not killing myself. But he stopped and stopped moving left and right. That was an opening, and I took this opening, and he is done. Yeah. Another boss is the next boss, and she is actually Romina. And you know how hard she is? Oh my goodness, how hard she is. I don't know why she is after Messmer, because look at her health, it basically took me like 2 seconds to destroy her. And we are already in the last place of the game, the grand final. So this is my first attempt, and this guy is crazy. He instantly destroyed me with like nasty combos left and right, and that's insane. And that's when I understood I forgot to spawn my Mimic, so the next time I enter the stage, I instantly ring the bell and my Mimic is on the stage. Now I only need to wait when Rellana will go away and start attacking my Mimic. It's hard, he's using some gravity spells, but in the end I got some time to heal, and basically he's standing in one place, and that's the attack. Coolest part, he will go into second stage at around 70% health, so I got time, I got range, and now he's just blocking all my spells. It's insanely crazy amount of different spells he's doing, but in the end my lightning almost destroying him. Also there is kinda like weird effect. Then he went into full crazy mode combo, and he started to make combinations left and right. I thought I got time, but no, I don't have any time, so he got a really crazy amount of combinations. But he was just few health away from second stage, and my Mimic did the job. So now it's my turn. The second he started to attack Mimic, I just unleashed all my lightning spells. And this bro starting to rise up into heaven. I don't know how, but somehow I took 0 damage from this spell. Radan was poised, broken and on the knees, and this was the moment when Potato beats Elden Ring with just 1 button press. On my separate save I decided to find out how this build performs against basic enemies, and it performs just insanely insane. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you will have blast playing this build in Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Watch other cool videos on the screen right now, and see you later.